for live. Bitrate is showing good, and I hope it stays up. It's windy again. Sure, that one goes live so people know. I think I'll just wait a little bit for people to get here, because the whole point of this is that we're promoting other artists, and it would be a little awkward if I was just promoting it to no one. So, I guess actually for the time being, just do a little bit of this. I'm working on Johnny's art raffle prize because he won on the blue sky part of the half of the raffle. So, let's see. Finished rendering. I'm hoping I can finish tonight. If we get through all the art people who shared their art on the threads, I think I can absolutely like just grind this out until the 1 a.m. sort of stopping time. So yeah, very windy today. Yes, I do live in California, but no, I don't think I'm in a danger zone. I already sort of like posted about that online earlier. So I think I'm good. Music feels just a little bit quiet. There we go. Yeah. And just as like a quick thing, we will be complimenting the arts here. It's only like, there's 6 there, there's 4 here, so only like 10 things. That shouldn't be too bad. You guys get to see me fiddle with the music this time. Yeah. I'm excited. I think my plan is tomorrow, instead of bringing my iPad to work on art, unfortunately, I will instead be focusing all of my energy on clipping all of the funny compliments that I have to say, and quotating like all of the art like with those compliments so that people get them. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do this is because I think I get it. Like Blue Sky and Twitter have like their character limits, so it's like really hard to like really like put into words. Like, man, like just how much I adore this art style. Like you have to be like very like efficient with it, and I'm like, I would like not to be efficient. I would like to gush and spill like all of my guts on the table about all the art that I see, because I think it's all like wonderful, and I really want to start already because there are some good ones and I want to talk about them so bad. And I love when people really like put like, when they really like talk about like little details in like a thing, in an art piece too, because it's like, oh my god, I can't believe you noticed that. Like you really looked at it. You didn't just like just look at it and like walk away. Which to be fair, I guess I am really like guilty of doing that. I'm like so like awkward still online, and it's just like so busy. So I get it, but I do love when people like point out like details like that. So that's why I do like my shares, because I can, it's like everything that I've missed throughout the week, I can just like get them all into like one space, and I can be like, oh my god, you guys are incredible. But yeah, we've got a lot, not a lot, but like a good amount to go through, and I'm excited. I don't know for sure if there's anyone. Yeah, I have the creator dashboard here. I should see. 3 viewers. All right, welcome 3 viewers. You guys are because now I know that I'm not streaming to 0 people, you guys are now going to be subjected to hilarious rambles about how good people's art styles are. So we're gonna start with Twitter. We just save this first. And then put this one on? Yes, here we are. So this is these were the threads that I had. They were on Blue Sky and they were on Twitter. I cross-post to both platforms, and I just really, really wanted to look at people's art and tell them all the compliments that I can't tell them because both websites have like character limits and it's insane. So let's start with this one. Butch. I am in love with the graphic design here, first of all. I think the silhouettes are, for the most part, very, very clear. Like, you can see there's 5 very distinct looking characters, and it's exciting. I think it's like it's very it's very like hype, right? Like it's got it's like it really does like sell that like sort of like high energy excitement. And the same goes for here. The silhouettes are a little bit less clear here, but regardless, it's still really cool. I love the way that you use the colors and the effects. I love that it's very like readable and everything, and it's so like it's so eye-catching at the same time. And the cool thing too is that even though it's silhouetted, like I can still see that it's your art style. Like I can see like these little flicks of hair that I think is like really common in your characters. Like all the art that I usually see on the timeline with you, like I see it, and it's so cool that it's distinct like that, and I love it. So wonderful pieces here. If you guys are looking for more artists to follow, absolutely follow Butch Pup here. Wonderful person. SJM, here we go. This is gorgeous. All right, it's relatively simple, but it shows like a huge like understanding of like texture and composition and just like in general. Again, very simplistic, but still shows off a lot of like expertise, I think, with everything. I love that it's textured too. Like I think things are like really cool when they have that sort of like texture to them that really make it look like it was painted on an actual canvas and not just like a blank white square like a lot of like drawing software. I like that the reflection is so like it's very bright and it's very like distinct, like where the horizon ends. I love this gradient here coming up to like the more highlighted spots. This is absolutely beautiful. This is another like wonderful, like you are so good at like painting scenery. Like I absolutely think that you should explore this more, especially like with your OCs, because it's like this would make for some like really cool really cool like comic panels, for example, or just like these full like pieces and art pieces and everything. I think it would be really great. This gives off like such heavenly vibes. It's like God himself just ripped open the clouds and is now poking his halo through there, and it looks it's very pretty. It's very bright, and I do love that you like added like some contrast up here. You can see the shading on the clouds too. It's very well done. What else do we got? More sky paintings, more of that texture. I'm suddenly realizing this might actually be an anti-AI filter. Oops, I'm stupid. Yeah, I think it's an anti-AI filter. Regardless though, it still adds like a cool like effect, and I don't think it takes away from like the art at all. I don't think it lowers the quality one bit. Here, I think the texture on the clouds, even through like the anti-AI filter, it's it really like gives off like a very like fluffy feeling, and I think you really excel at those clouds. Like those clouds, that has to be some of your strongest points. The moon, it is it's adorable. I love the crescent shape. It could be a little bit smoother. I think it could be a little bit more textured, but it's overall it's a very very like relaxing piece. Again, deceptively simple. I love the splatter that you use for the stars. It's very vibrant and it just adds a lot to the piece overall. And then one of your OCs. Yes, I think your character design absolutely slaps. You may still have like a few like novice or new artist sort of like things here and there, but overall like the color theory is actually so good. Red and green is always like a nice combo, but I think a lot of people kind of like look at it as like, oh, it's sort of like Christmassy, but like here you really like show off like how like flashy and like edgy red and green can be together with how with all the bright neons and the highlights, even like the fringe on the character helps sell this idea that like they're very cool, they're very like punk. It's really nice and I absolutely love it. Alrighty, so that is SJM, wonderful artist, wonderful person with some fantastic paintings, and I can't wait to see where they go. Yule Kernia, or Lurkernia, there we go. I think Yule's part of the holiday stuff. First of all, this is great. Just the expression of of all of this. It's so like, I love how loose he is. First of all, he's very he's so shapely, and his silhouette, if you were to like color over this, it's very distinct. It's a great pose overall. I love all the texture here in the painting, and all of these like little elements are adorable. I love the hand mouth, by the way. It's not in exactly I think the right spot, but if you had like a dog hand puppet, it'd actually be here, but the teeth go here. Regardless, it's a really, really cool effect, and I love it. It's, man. I love the expressions so much. It's so, like, it's so cartoon. What I love about this is that it's so cartoonish, in, like, the general shape, right? Like, it's got, like, these massive horns. It's got, like, the big angry teeth. It's got, like, he kind of looks like a chili pepper, I'm not gonna lie. That's a good thing. But then you couple it with like with this rendering that sort of looks like, I think, either acrylic or oil paint. It's such an iconic look, and I adore it to the moon and back. This is so good. This is actually like so good. And compare it too with the flats. Like, isn't that crazy what a little bit of paint can do for your colors? God, wonderful. Yeah, if you like what you see here, absolutely give this artist a follow. This is a great piece. Melody Issa. I don't know if that's how you pronounce your name, but we'll just call you Melody for now. This is cute. This is honestly like pretty cute at the end of the day. It's a little hard to see, but I think you definitely display like a good number of like, you're very good at adding a lot of detail, which is something that I personally struggle with. I think for me that's probably because like back when I was learning, at some point I must have either really wanted to animate, and I know right now I really want to make comics, so I think one of the ways that I was trying to like help myself with that was keeping things simple. But I like that you push the elements. I don't know if you do all of this by hand. I don't know if you have brushes for this, but it works all together, and it does achieve like that sort of like Victorian Renaissance, one of those time periods. It really achieves like that effect. I think some of the clothing wrinkles, just a little fixing here and there, but overall it's good, and I've seen like the rest of your art. There's definitely like some things you can improve on, but I think you'll get there if you're consistent. So, yeah, overall, very nice. Let us move on. This skaboo. Very, very cute art style, first of all. Um, it's always nice to see like the traditional artists on here because I feel like so much of everything now is digital art. Am I guilty of that? Yes, but I'm learning analog inking, so that's besides the point at this point. Um, what I like about this is that you really you see like the me Nintendo style, and you know what you are going for. Like everything is here. You have like the shape of the me face, the type of nose, and all the features. Like you have that down to a T. You know exactly what you're going for, and if you keep practicing, you are absolutely going to achieve that effect, and it's great. Um, the AI title here, not a huge fan of it. I understand that it's hard to think of ideas, but um, uh, it is hard to think of ideas, but I'm losing my train of thought. 1 second. It's it despite using the AI title, it is clear that there was a lot of like human work that was put into this. Titles are hard to come up with, so I don't blame you, but that is another skill that you're just gonna have to develop, and I can't wait to see how you improve because there is, again, like I said, there is a lot of like good stuff that is happening here. The way you color with your either color pencil or crayon, it's kind of hard to tell from the photo quality. It looks really consistent. You're able to get like an almost like a really nice even color from the looks of it. Your lines are very clean, so I see the makings of like a great artist here, and I think you should absolutely keep practicing because what I see here again is really good at the end of the day. But yeah. Let's see. Ooh, these are gonna be some fun ones to like pick around in. Yes, I love the background. First of all, one of the first thing that this screams to me, the first thing that I notice when I look at all of this, is the color. Not necessarily like all like the line to details and everything, but it is the color. I absolutely will preach for very like saturated and bright colors because I don't think there's any point in having all of these colors if we don't use them, right? So right away I love just like the harsh lighting. I love that it's like just in some spots it's very well complemented with like blues and greens. It absolutely has like that very dramatic sunset effect, and the perspective here is insanely good too. I'm awful at backgrounds and perspective, so this is just like, wow, this is mind-blowing. I love all the details in the line work too. The cool thing about this, especially like right here, I love that it's like partly rendered with like black too. Black shading is like very hard to mix. Oh, here too, man. Man, there's just all kinds of like technical stuff going on here. Like the texture and like the different effects. You can just see them all. And it's such a cool thing to see. Just like I especially love this as someone who loves like line art stuff. This is just such a cool thing to see, and I am here for it. It's really cool that you lined the background too, and it's still like you can absolutely see that it's just part of the background. Again, there's just like a wonderful skill set being put on display here, and man, and there's 3 more pieces. This is insane. Ah, look at that. Again, a very, very cool perspective. Again, with the use of like these bright and vibrant colors that absolutely like call your attention. That has to be some of my favorite kinds of art, where like you just put all of these like palettes out there, and like these very like eye-catching palettes, and you're just like not afraid to use the colors. I feel like there's a lot of artists who like wash it out, and yeah, that is part of the style, but it's just not entirely for me. Doesn't mean it's bad, but this is the kind of stuff that I love to see. I love when it's like right there in your face, or it's just demanding your attention. Like, I deserve to be seen because this absolutely deserves to be seen. Look at the rendering on the mountains, like that shading, like all of the shapes up there, that is insane. The texture on the moon, ah, Man, and I love all the details on the houses too. And the fact that they're still lined, my word. Oh man, this is great. Oh, this is gorgeous, look at that. It's like if the anime bloom effect was like, how do I describe it? Like, what if you just put that to the max and just made it even cooler, made it even shinier, made it even, like, more eye-catching? You said, enough of these pastels. We're gonna put this to the max and we are going all in. And it is great. Because, again, I love, like, the color you use here for the cherry blossom trees. Like, it doesn't feel like just pink. It feels very, like red in a way. And it's just, it's such a cool effect. Like, this absolutely feels like a evening to afternoon sort of thing. Again, the background's just beautiful. The sky, what a color gradient there. The light effects, man. These are absolutely beautiful. And these are for an indie game too. That's crazy. Oh man, you can even see the little character there. That's such a cool effect. I love this perspective in the classroom. It feels so like, how do I describe it? It's like, it's not dreamy, like, in a sense, but it's like first day of school and everything is like so intimidating. It absolutely sells that effect if this is what it was going for, because it's so big and the character looks so small, and it absolutely like creates this feeling of just like, I'm new here and it's a little scary, and I love it. The lighting from the windows and everything, it's so like you have such a wonderful understanding of like structure and light and how the light like bounces off the objects. It's literally so cool. Man, and that's really it for Twitter. Ugh, I wish I had more of these. It's okay. I think maybe I'll do this type of thing a little bit more frequently. We'll see how this goes. If people don't like what I said, then I won't do this again. But if people really enjoy the thing, then I'll do it again. Let's look at the blue sky stuff, because we got a few here too. Shunky, let's go. Look at that. Look at that beautiful, gorgeous, like, display of texture and everything. Shunky, your 3D stuff is insane. Oh my god. Where do I even begin with this? Okay, water highlights. I love your water highlights. Hang on, go back to that. Like, those are good shapes for water highlights. I feel like it's kind of hard to achieve them sometimes. So this is just like, again, peak skill on top of peak skill. The bubbles also just add like a wonderful touch of just like, being underwater. And these scales, Jesus. Shunky, I'm gonna feel so bad for you if you hand painted all of this yourself, because that is insane if you did. Like, my word. I wouldn't even know where to begin with all of this, but and the glowing patterns too. It reminds me of Wings of Fire, because I read that book series when I was younger, like early teens. But yeah, it's a really cool effect, and they absolutely sell the idea. Like, this is a very like aquatic character. The fins and everything, also just a wonderful like creature design on display. Especially like this right here. Kind of feels like the tendrils on a star-nosed mole, and I think that's like a cute little effect to have. The eye is so like shiny and glossy. It's wonderful. Oh my god, the background. Like, it's arguably like underwater scenes are really easy to draw or really easy to paint to an extent, right? But the ones I've done are like very simple, but this like really pushes it. Like, it really pushes. Like, I'm gonna have like the water filtering in, I'm gonna have the highlights, and like even the perspective, just like that is a really cool camera angle, on top of, again, just a really, really great character design. Absolutely love it. give Shunky some love on Blue Sky. Veggie, drink. You know what I'm going to say, probably. The thick lines, you know what's up. Oh my god, I'm shaking my desk. You absolutely know what's up with the thick lines, like udon noodles. See, one of the reasons why I love line art like this is because of you have to think so differently. Where if you're painting and all of your detail comes from the paint, there is so much careful attention to like the colors you're using and the colors you're using, the kind of brush you're using, and just so on and so forth. With lines, you just have your lines, and some shading here and there, but you just have your lines. And I think the way that all of your line work translates to like the material it's on, it's absolutely gorgeous. And I love that I can see it too. Like, that's right there, that like the way it's thicker up here, it kind of tapers out a little and then comes right back. Give me more of it, please! Like, it's like up here too, the dynamic line depth is crazy. This is just incredible art, all across the board. I love it. Again, I'm a sucker for thick line art, and I'm a sucker for very cartoony styles, and I absolutely adore this, because again, I think the ability to like convey different textures through adding a line here or making it thinner or thicker, just all of the above. I think it's a wonderful skill that is dying out and we need to bring it back. And Veggie, you are absolutely bringing it back. I love this so much. And the colors too. Like, it's such a perfect contrast between like everything else that's like grayscale. And I'm gonna include the skin tone in the grayscale too, because it's very like pale, and I understand that's probably part of the character. But like the yellow, like the golden yellow stripe, the vest, the bow, and then the very like blonde hair with the very beautiful like rendering and painting. Like the cell shading goes so hard, and then you can even see like some painted parts of it. That is some masterwork right there. There is so much good to say about this. I love it so much. Drink is also on Twitch too, Drink Your Vegetable. So again, if you want more artists to follow, absolutely go support over there too, and on Blue Sky. And I think they're still on Twitter. Keychain, let's go. Okay, right off the bat, I love your use of color. It's so like. It's so vibrant, it's so pretty. It reminds me of like oil pastels. I don't work too much with the medium, but I've seen like a little bit of it. It reminds me of that, and I love like if it was me doing this, I would have probably just used like native like colors to the original color and called it at that. But you go for the whole rainbow, and I think that is one of the coolest things in the entire world. I think it really shows off like a strong grasp of like color theory, and it creates this really like cool effect where it kind of looks like a very like children's book illustration. But sometimes I think like there's some where it's not so much meant to be interpreted like children's, for a children's book, like the content in there from what I've seen. But even still, like, this is just such a pleasant looking art style. I love that you can see every stroke. I love that you're not afraid to make things look, because some people really obsess over making like every gradient as smooth as possible. And I love that here, you really just let the brush or the pen do its work. You're not too concerned about it. It looks like obviously you are, right? Because this is a skill, and skill with skill means that everything you do has a purpose, right? So obviously you do care, but what the nice thing about it is that you know like exactly like what to do to make all of these like very like solid strokes just sort of fit like a puzzle together, and it comes off looking smooth and rough at the same time, and it's absolutely gorgeous. You can see the same thing here on display. I love the use of texture here on the building. I think it's very cute. I think the way you like render the metal is very like like it works so well too, because go back to that. The cool thing about it is you've conveyed like so many like different like textures now, even like without like just through like the different ways you render it, and I think that's such a neat skill. I love the characters too. They're so cute. It's such a like this feels like a story time in kindergarten, and it's great. And I love it. And again, your ability to just like put all kinds of color into a thing. It's like I got the 60 pack of Crayola crayons, and I intend to use all of them. And I mean all of them, even the ones that are like my least favorite. That's what this feels like, and it creates just such a beautiful effect. Like, my God, I love it so much. It's gorgeous. It's so like, again, deceptively simple, but there's so much like craft going on in here. It's stunning. I love it. Thank you for sharing your art with me. Thank you, everyone. Alright. This looks like the last share entry. Once again, very like children's book illustration type of thing. I'm not sure what's going on. If I open this in a new tab, does that actually help? Not too much. Okay, we'll go with this, but just because the image quality wants to be silly right now doesn't mean we can't appreciate this. Once again, incredible display of like understanding of like shape and everything. I love the creature design too. Like, it's very obviously being pulled through the sky, but like these shrimp looking things, but like they look okay. So shrimp and crustaceans are kind of like sharp looking if you were to like draw them out, if that makes sense. Like if you had a very cartoony art style, I think you would absolutely want to have like some angles and points in there to just sort of like be like, oh, these guys have like pincers, they're kind of tough, they have a hard shell. Here they absolutely, like, especially these ones down here, they very much look like in the same way that like crustaceans would, but because they're in the sky, they're so much more like lofty, and that's what I love about like these round shapes, because it looks like more feathery now, which is just such a neat attention to like creature design. And like, I'm a world building sucker. This is, again, just really, really good stuff here. The jellyfish like creatures here too, also just like, I like that they look like seeds blowing in the wind. Like, that's such a nice touch to it. And then of course the depth on the little hot air balloon blimp here, it's really cool. I like that it's being pulled by this thing. And I think the idea of like a tiny little human watching these giant sky shrimps pull their balloon, that's like such a fun like mental image. I love it. You can see like this sort of like feathery guy here again. I like your use of just like scribbling over something and then erasing part of it. Negative space is a really, really, really cool thing to work on, and I guess here it doesn't necessarily count as negative space. I think it kind of like depends, but it's still like a really, really cool effect. I would be too scared to do something like this because I think this is also something that would just be really hard to sketch out, and I kind of need to sketch things. So I really like that you really have like a really good grasp of like shape. Like when you see something in your head, you know what it's supposed to look like from what I'm seeing here, and it's like a lot easier for you to just like put it onto a canvas without worrying too much about like getting it right the first time. This is another cool piece. I love this guy. He looks like a cave painting. Another thing that I like about this art style, it's so like loose and carefree. Like, it's not actually carefree because again, with skill comes intent, but it's so like it's so squishy, and I like how squishy it is. It's it just shows off like a very like whimsical like kind of like world building type of thing. Like you could like I really do feel like I could see this in like some kind of like D&D module. Like, oh, and here's the creatures in like this sort of area. This is sort of like what their architecture looks like. This is what we see on like their pottery and stuff. I love the swirl. It's very like it's got a very like unique sort of like pattern to it, especially like with the way it starts off so like clean and then becomes more jagged. It's like there's a story to be told there. Man. And this is also just really cute. Again, a very like not necessarily loose and carefree, but very like free-handed, it feels like, in a sense. Um I love, first of all, this sweater. The texture absolutely translates so well. I know this is just like the poofiest and fluffiest sweater in existence. I love the books here, and I think when I look at this again, it looks really cool that this kind of looks like an open book sort of folded over the head. Like this is almost a bookmark, this is the writings, this is the spine. I think that is a really, really cool effect, and it just looks so like abstract, no, not abstract, maybe surrealist. I don't know. I never went to art school, so I don't have a strong grasp on the terms. But it's very like it's very just so it's so stylized. It's so pretty. I don't care that the image quality right now is being silly. Um it like I see the vision and I am here for it. Again, it's just a really, really good display of like understanding shape, like right off the bat, to where maybe you don't need to do like a lot of like fine refining in the sketch, or maybe this is the sketch and you're if this is your sketch, this is incredible, and if it's not your sketch, then again, it's just really like it just really shows that you have like a really strong grasp on like shape and composition and everything. Again, I think it's very pretty. Little blush there. I enjoy it. And another thing that I need to mention, the use of color here is so like pleasing to me. Like I like when people use colored outlines. I personally struggle a little bit with it myself, but like the color here is so like soft and nice to look at. I love it so much. Alrighty, I think that was everything again. If you want to find these artists and you're following me on either of these platforms, I will be quoting them with like the little highlights from all of this. Hopefully I'll get through all of them tomorrow without too much trouble at work. Probably eat up the Carl's Jr. Wi-Fi. But yeah, yeah, absolutely wonderful stuff on display. I love it. I love all of it. I enjoy doing the shares every weekend. I think they pose like a great opportunity to like really talk about art, because I don't think we talk about art enough, and it's kind of sad because there's so much like skill to be shown in all of these, right? Like you can see everything like bleeding through, and we don't talk about it. We don't talk about we don't talk about like we'll see something like this. Nobody will talk about how like how even the coloring is. Dude, like it's so hard to get even coloring with colored pencils sometimes, or crayon. Or like we don't talk about this. We don't talk about like how clean the line art is. We don't talk about how intricate the details are. We don't talk about like how absolutely tasty this this rendering style is. Like we don't talk about like these big swooping like line strokes. I feel like artists don't get like enough praise for their craft. I think people like to just look at the art and go like, wow, that's a cool piece. And that's fair, because, you know, it's kind of hard to say all of that with like a 100 something character limit. But even still, like, it doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about them, I think. It just means, like, I have to do something like this so I can talk about it in a more, like, free way. Because, again, these are wonderful pieces with so much to, like, talk about. And it's a shame the space we live in today. I think a lot of artists might get shamed for that. And I think that's insane. I think we should brag about how good our techniques are. I think we should talk about it. I don't think we should, like, gatekeep it either, because all of this is also just great learning opportunities for beginner artists. Nothing that I've shown today was remotely bad. All of this was made with like absolute care and craft and attention to detail. Like even if you think that like oh well, it's very like novice beginner, like there are things here that aren't very like novice and beginner. Again, like the color palette, this is a wonderful step forward because it shows off a really, really good strength. And I can say the same thing for just about everything that I've seen here. Play that. And, you know, again, it's important to praise new artists too. But yeah, I love everything that I've seen here. Again, I love the clean silhouettes. I love the sky paintings, the fluffy clouds, and the color theory put together. I love the texture on the rendering. I like all the little details. I love like the solid coloring and the clean lines. The bold colors like down here for all of these. Just, again, everything that I think I've seen today just, I think, truly speaks to these artists' skills, and I think that's a wonderful thing. So, yeah, it's 10:42. I spent 40 minutes yapping about art. It's probably time to get back to my actual art that I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah, I'll probably be like clipping these for so I can get these people their compliments, because I live on the West Coast, and of course West Coast is late to everything. So 10:42 a.m. right now, or p.m. for me means probably like 3 a.m. for someone else. And I don't expect people to watch streams at 3 a.m. So, let's see. Let's put the drawing tablet back on. And this is Johnny's art raffle prize. Very, very silly. He's always making me do very silly things. And I love him for that. Johnny is my brother. I wanted to go with Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Leo's design here, because that show is actually like incredible. I'm about to gush over like art again. Oh Jesus, this is just the art yapping stream where I talk about how freaking good art is. But Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, unironically, just okay, if you want to set aside like literally everything, like if you are an OG fan and you think Rise was just like bad, you still have to say that art style frickin' slaps. And the animation style too. There's something that I really, really appreciate about 2D art that I don't think for a good reason art is great. Hello! Welcome! I'm glad I looked up at the camera. Welcome. I'm afraid you might have just missed me, like, showing off all the art that I got on the art shares. But I am gonna, like, quote all of the artist's response with, my thing. So, yeah. But no, yeah, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh my god. That animation style, that art style it's so tasty. It has everything I like. It has, like, the really, like, funny, like, line depth and dynamic line depth. It has like the bright colors, the strong lighting. Everything about it is so loud and bold, and I think that is one of the biggest things that I appreciate about the art style. But yeah, lots of fun. Lots of fun to be had. Have you heard of Fugglers, chat? Because this is exactly what I'm drawing. Or rendering now, I guess. That is what Johnny had me draw, and I'm like, okay. He had the Leonardo Fuggler, so I wanted to draw the Leonardo from Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles version instead, because I think that one just had like a few more things for me to play around with. Makes the overall piece like look just a little bit more interesting, I think. Yeah, I love Rise. It's a shame that it got canceled, but I am glad that they were at least able to like tie up the loose ends and everything. Cause I won't be here very long, but I wanted to say hi, and I agree we need to talk about our art more often. Yes, absolutely. Hello! Welcome. I know you're Kira, Elric, Puff on the socials, but here I know you have a different name, and I'm not exactly sure what you want to tell me. Also, it's very... I understand it's 2 a.m. For you. Very sorry about that. I already yapped about, like, the art and complimented everyone, but I'm going to quote and highlight the things with the quotes. Something in some relative order that will make sense. So, hope that's gonna be a fun way to spend my 30-minute break tomorrow at work. Not that I'm not looking forward to it, but I do have to sit through quite a bit, and I don't like the sound of my own voice. Haha. My normal name was taken. I was here. I saw I was here for a minute. Oh, I see. But yeah, glad you stopped by though. Just vibing drawing my brother's art raffle prize because he won finally. It's so funny because he was like I never win the art raffle. Like, don't worry, Johnny, he'll win one day. And he did! And this is what he wanted me to draw. But yeah, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know if I will get copyright struck if I pull up the intro, but that intro, the animation is so tasty. I love 2D animation because I feel like there's so much like character that's lost in 3D sometimes. Like, don't get me wrong, 3D animation is still absolutely beautiful and everything, but oh boy, oh boy, 2D like brings something so different to the table, especially when it's like the more cartoony ones too. I feel like we need to go back to that. Like, guys, please bring back the cartoon era. I miss it. I miss it so much. But yeah, rest in peace if normal names were taken. That's always a shame. That reminds me. I watch Some Ordinary Gamers on YouTube. I like to watch commentary channels. There was a funny thing that happened. Somebody on like Pump.fun or one of those crypto sites impersonated him. Just like, hey, it's me, Mudahar. And they were trying to shill like some crypto pump and dump. And the actual real Mudahar had to come out and say like, guys, if you ever catch me shilling a meme coin, I am dead. And it's so real. I could do a rant about 2D, my baby, my precious. I went to college for animation for a reason. So true. So real. Like, you know, I think I will show off the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles opening, but I'll probably mute it so I don't get copyright struck. Oh boy. Cause like, let me see. Let me just click this and then mute. Kamui Yamato is my name on DA. I made it before Kira, so it's like my second name. Oh, I see. So no Charybdo, I can get behind that. Real. Yeah, I used to have an old screen name, but I'm not going by that anymore. That one was cringe. That one needs to be buried 10 feet below the ground, and I will not utter it at all. But yeah, the Rise intro is, like, so good. It's, by the way, flashing lights warning. Oh my god, I almost forgot. Yeah, flashing lights before I continue to let this play. But, like, look at that. Look at the squash and stretch on display here. Look at the dynamic camera angles they're still able to achieve. And like, I love when the animation just like it's still kind of like choppy for a moment because it's such a nostalgic like thing. Just look at that. Like, how can you? I like 2D more than 3D, okay? It's so good. Like, just, all of that. Yeah. I wish I could animate. I wish I knew how to animate. I guess I could technically do, like, a sort of, like, rough storyboard stuff, but that kind of just feels like comic work to me. I kind of already want to do comics. I want to do a lot of things regarding art this year. I hope my wrist doesn't fall off my hand. Or fall off my arm. But yeah. I will forever hold 2D above 3D, I think. It's just... You can't beat it. It's like, it takes a long-ass time, but it takes a long-ass time for a reason. And I think it's great. I think it's definitely like influenced the way that I do art. Makes it feel like a comic in a sense. Love the energy love the energy it portrays and how vibrant it is. Exactly. Like it. Art is so like. There's such a strong push towards 3D and it makes me sad. I like stylized things. Spoiler alert, haha. When I start hosting my Draw This in Your Style next week, I need to be like more careful about how I'm gonna choose like the winner for that because what's it called? I don't just want to choose like the very like cartoony stylized stuff, but I know deep down in my heart I'm always gonna have like that bias because that's just the stuff that I love. So if you want to win the free art, there's your little like secret to getting ahead in the race. Oh my god. It's the same thing for, like, the Witch's Throne creator. I talked about that last art stream, where I showed off my thing. He didn't just follow me on Twitter, is the cool thing. Or on Instagram. He followed me back on Twitter, and I'm like, holy shit. I know he's probably, like, never gonna see my posts and everything. I don't care. It's the fact that I did the art raffle contest. It's the fact that I did the art raffle contest and I went so try-hard on it that the guy followed me back on my art profile, and I think that's hilarious. That's insane. I'm so happy. Like, I'm riding that high. I don't draw, but now I know. Yeah, there's my bias. Oh my god, it's so fun. I'm sorry, I love cartoony stuff. It's so nostalgic. And it's such a shame that I don't see any more of it. Like, guys, bring it back. It's such a good art style. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that I've won my spot in the competition. Or the contest, I should say. So I'm excited. The comic, I think, starts up again on Monday. And I'm so excited to see all the other entries because I've only seen him retweet like mine and then like one other person, so I'm just like sitting here like, where's the fan art? I need to see more of the fan art because I love that series to death. My favorite webcomic by far. This entire stream has just been me like yapping. I will have to see what I can do when you put up your Draw This in Your Style. I mean, I don't mind if people don't do it. I hope that at least one person does it. Uh, I am gonna try to. I'm gonna put like a 2 week deadline. I think that's mostly fair ish. I'll have to see. Um, it is. I know the characters who are going to be featured on it though. I don't expect all of you guys to be caught up with like the insane OC lore that I have because I don't post a lot of my OCs too much. But for those of you who have been here long enough, you know I have like 2 like druid characters who are supposed to represent like life and death, and it's gonna be them. It is absolutely gonna be them. No questions asked. They're my little like blorbos. They're my little life and death duo because I think the stories where life and death fall in love together have to be some of the like it's so cliche, but it's so good. Like, I am injecting it into my veins. I love duality stuff like that. It's such a... Like, I think it creates, like, really, like, beautiful, like, stories when you do stuff like that. So, Shit. Yeah, oh shit. That's okay, I can fix it. But yeah, I think stories like that just are really like beautiful. I think they're very like well crafted, and it's a lot of times I think people like make it like tragic, like oh, but then life always dies, but death is eternal. I'm like, I won't get that far, but like I definitely don't want to write the ending of Aerie and Lilac's story like that. What I do want to do though is when I eventually get my own webcomic going. What I want to do with their stories is make them inverse of each other, because they've always sort of been meant to be like complementary to each other. So I think to try and attempt to not accidentally spoil things for a comic that I've been procrastinating on for the last half a year, Aerie's story, if I was to like dumb it down in like and use like very like generalized words, for how I describe it, it would absolutely be, like she is like fighting, she has to confront her past in order to be able to reach that future she's like reaching out for, whereas Lilac is fighting to cling on to the past and has to accept that she has to move on to the future. Or she has to start looking to the future or the present, one of the two. Point being, it's very like inverse stories. Aerie's story is about life and wanting to like live it. Lilac's story is going to be about grief and just sort of like how badly you can let it like consume you, stuff like that. And again, I think I'm a sucker for like stories between life and death, because I think it's just it's such a beautiful and heartwarming thing. I don't know, I'm weird. But yeah, it also like reflects in their designs, obviously. Aerie is a tiefling with dark red skin and these sort of like bright violet eyes because she has main character syndrome. And then Lilac is a drow with purple skin and bright red eyes. They're very, again, everything about them is so like intentionally meant to be like inverse of each other, and I love it. I like when I like when creators go out of their way to like make design choices like that. I think it's very fun. I think it's very like interesting, and I think it does lend so much to like a storytelling through color type of situation. Sometimes I wish though I did choose like different colors, because I want to draw them more together, but I'm very lazy when it comes to background, so sometimes it's very hard to find like a really nice like neutral background color to like put them in. But but yeah, so they're gonna be the draw this in your style. I have to get like a Google folder ready with like all their palettes and stuff. Forgot that I needed to set that layer to add. Oops, and it's doing the thing. I don't know if it's a Medibang problem, I don't know if it's a computer thing, but sometimes if I just zoom in, I start getting like choppy stuff in the painting. I'm like, no! I like my rendering rough, but not that rough. Let's see, what else is there to talk about? Work's picking up again. It's been slow like the past few weeks, but to be fair, the past few weeks were also the holidays. So I'm sure everyone in East... Almost doxed myself there. I'm sure everyone in my city was just out of the city because God forbid we actually have like recreational activities to do here that's not just shopping and eating ramen. It sucks in my city. There, like, literally, I kid you not, if you wanted to go out here, there's the shopping plaza with a Target, and if you wanted to eat really good food, there is a bunch of little Japanese ramen joints. And that is it. And it sucks. And I hate it. And I'm like, can we please put something more here? And I don't think they want to, because of, like, a homeless thing. I don't know. It's stupid. Like, it's very much a commuter city here. If you want to do anything, you have to drive, like, 20, 40 minutes out, and I hate it. But yeah, it's been slow at the store. A lot of times I've been getting sent home early. I got sent home early today, even. Or actually I was supposed to, and then I got a little busy for the rush, but... the store's kind of just only been having, like, the rushes, and that's it. It's not really, like, there's a lot of customers coming in. I think that's gonna change, like, pretty soon. Monday, the schools and everything are gonna be back in session, so it's like, oh boy. We get to deal with the school rushes again. I tried to ask my manager, like, can you put me, like, half my shifts are in the daytime, half my shifts are at night. But she needs me in the daytime, and I'm like, okay. It kind of sucks. I like working with Johnny. It's really fun when we're together because I have someone to talk to, and both of us know how we work, so we work very well together. But you know, what can you do? If they need me in the daytime, I guess they need me in the daytime. And then money got like mega shuffled around today. I counted the safe that we have, and we're always supposed to have like around $1,500 in the safe at all times. So today it was $2 over, so one of the shift leaders, given everything that has happened, school rush could be a nightmare. Oh shoot, you're right, yeah. I don't know if the fires are gonna affect anything. I don't know, we'll see. You know, the crazy thing is that I knew there was a fire, but I live in California, right? And there is a wildfire every goddamn year, right? So I was like, yeah, it's a wildfire during windy season? Like, well, like, what is that? The average, like, Tuesday, in California? Then it turns out it wasn't just one wildfire, it was like a million of them. And I was like, oh shit, that is bad. That is actually really bad. I feel so sorry for people who are like caught in the... Oh, I probably shouldn't have. It's okay. I probably shouldn't have like turned that off yet. I feel really bad for people who are like caught in those things because it's just, what an awful situation, because it spreads so fast and you can lose everything in just a matter of like minutes. And there's so many pets that just got like, people had to leave behind, and there is literally nothing we can do. People keep saying like oh, like why don't, like, what happened to like all the water? California has been in a drought since like 2015. Like, we get rainy season, but we don't get, I don't think we get nearly as much rain as we should be getting. No, actually, that's, no, that's fine like that. No. That should really be, like, in shadow if I want to achieve the effect that I'm going for. Yeah, no, we just don't get a lot of rain in SoCal. It kinda sucks, though. Like, I was looking forward to the rainy season this year. Because, like, part of me was thinking, like, oh, maybe we can all go up to the mountains, see some snow, take Butters to see snow for the first time. I think Jimmy, too. I don't think Jimmy has seen snow ever in his life. But rainy season just never came, and we got windy season, and now all of this, and, it's not super scary for me yet, like I said, or, I am my city is in the green zone from the looks of it, but some neighboring cities, and by neighboring, I mean you have to take the freeway to get there, because again, God forbid I live in a city where I don't have to drive, like, 40 minutes out to do anything remotely interesting. Some neighboring-ish spots, if you take the freeway, they're kind of like in a yellow zone. So I think that maybe it's like there's some fires there, but they're like, at least the fire department in those spots can like respond, and actually like put it out. Unlike, you know, the rest of it. A walkable city would be way too convenient anyways, yeah. The only walkable city I can think of is either Anaheim, not Pasadena, and LA. It's literally just Anaheim and LA if I think about, like, the closest ones to me. God. I hate the suburbs sometimes, but it's like, you know what? At least I have a house, I guess. A house where, like, 80% of the space isn't really used. But a house regardless. But yeah, what a terrifying, like, experience, though. And also, what a shitty thing for the insurance companies to do. I think there's conspiracy going around, like, oh, so-and-so actually started the fire, so they could do this. And I'm like, as much as I really want to point my fingers at big insurance and big government, from what I can tell, it doesn't look like there's actually a lot of evidence to properly substantiate that, because I've seen, like, 2 things already. Like, we can't be, like, this quick to, like, claim it was this guy's. Even though they are. And even still, like, but, like, even, like, disregarding, like, the whole, like, allegedly over everything right now. Not even allegedly, just, like, the general, like, conspiracy. The insurance companies taking away people's fire insurance is still insane to me. So now these people are losing their houses and then, like, not getting, like, compensated for it. Hi, Kira! Hello! Welcome, welcome, welcome. The whole, complimenting people's art thing was at the beginning of stream. We are now into the hour of stream where I say some things that would probably put a target over my head from some government assassin, the CIA or something, but it's okay, because the CIA doesn't know where I live, probably. They absolutely know where I live. They won't catch me, though. But yeah, the fires, not cool. The insurance companies, not cool. Again, what an absolutely, like, shitty thing to do. Like, even if you didn't know the fires were gonna happen, you knew windy season was coming up at least. And, like, windy season, it's not just dry season that makes the fires go, it's the wind too, because that's, like, that's how the embers travel, to my knowledge. But yeah, one of my coworkers is absolutely convinced, like, the government or something was behind the fires, and I'm like, I really want to believe it, because I like pointing my finger at the government. But we do have to be reasonable, and it does seem like there isn't a lot of conclusive evidence. Even though there was, like, footage of, like, people, like, setting things on fire, if you don't know, here's a little lesson that I learned from, like, school. You can technically fight fire with fire. The idea is that you burn up the surrounding fuel, so that eventually the fire, the fire can't spread. Like, if I was to illustrate it, like, if the fire is burning here, right, and there's still a lot of, like, fuel around it, right? If there's still all that fuel around it, it's going to spread. So what you can do is you can essentially burn up the fuel that's around the fire, so now it only has that area, and it'll eventually die out. So it becomes isolated and has no more fuel to spread. Exactly. And then, unfortunately, I don't think my manager or my coworker understood what I was trying to say, because, God forbid, I also have the ability to speak. But hey, you know what? My ability to talk and draw at the same time has come back, so we're getting back into things. But yeah, that's, I don't, like, if there were people starting fires, I would imagine it's the fire department thinking, well, you know, maybe this might be a good idea, because we don't have water. Like, we don't have water in California. We have the whole ocean right there, but the winds are making it really hard to, the winds are making it really hard to, like, transport the water over here by aircraft, and then, like, doing it, like, on land, I don't think it's just gonna, like, be very efficient. Why would they be surprised you can actually speak? You'd be you've been to my streams numerous times at this point. You know I am a stuttering buffoon. Honestly, it's my hilarious illiteracy that makes me romancing Elliot in Stardew Valley even funnier to me. It's like, hi, I'm Kyra, I'm 24, and I never learned how to read. That's exactly how I feel sometimes. I still don't like the sound of my voice. I think working... Oh, friend is texting me. Let me let them know that I'm not I'm not in evacuation distance. I send them the picture that I posted. I am very safe. But yeah, and I've lost my train of thought. I know I was talking about Stardew, but I completely forgot what else I was talking about with Stardew. I will get to them later. I'll just explain to them that I was streaming afterwards, but let's see. In me and Johnny's, like, sort of, like, private file, great news, you were talking about not liking your voice. Oh, that's where it was. Perfect. I'll get to the Stardew stuff later. Let's see. Yeah, there was this one customer last night who was like, hey, I really like the sound of your voice. You should become a voice actor. And I'm like, it's really kind of you to say. Like, I get it. I get it if you guys like it, right? Because I'm sure you guys come for a reason that's beyond the stuttering mess and the silly art, hopefully. And I appreciate it. But everyone liking my voice is not going to change the fact that I don't like it still. Very kind, but that is not how it works. Yeah, it is absolutely not how it works. I don't know how to do anything. The most you're gonna get out of me is just funny D&D sessions where I have to improvise and pretend, and everything. That's about all I can do. But yeah, I just... It doesn't matter how many people like my voice, I don't think I'm ever gonna like my own voice, 'cause I just hate how high-pitched it is. I hate, like, how grating it sounds, personally. And it's gonna be really funny having to clip everything, tomorrow, and I have to listen to myself, and I'm like, God, this person sounds like an idiot. This person has no idea what they're talking about. This person has an annoying voice. It's me. I'm the person with the annoying voice. Like, and I'm not fishing for compliments, by the way. This is just how I've always felt about it. I wish it was, like, a little bit lower. Or, like, if it did have to, like, keep the high pitch, I wish it sounded better. I don't know how to describe it, but I just don't like it. I do like your voice, too, but I get not liking it yourself. You hear it more often and differently than me, too. No, here's the funny thing. I hear what it sounds like all the time, because it's at the drive-thru. We have an automated like answering machine, and we record lines for it. And by we, I mean me. So like every time a car comes into the drive-thru, it's like, "Hi, would you like to try double Western today?" And I hate it. I hate how it sounds. But you know, I really wanted to do it because it was funny, not because I wanted to hear like what my voice sounded like. But I do hear what it sounds like on a regular basis, and I don't like it. And again, not fishing for compliments. This is just one of those things that I'm just forever going to hate about myself, but I'm just gonna have to sit there and accept it. I just realized I have other green to put highlights on. Why? Guys, I'm stupid today. Oh my god, I completely forgot I have like the rest of his body to render. Oh yeah, not to like resurface like old drama, I guess, because I did want to like put it to like rest and not say anything more on it. I don't like my voice either, but hey, maybe we both will learn to somehow accept it. Yeah, one day. Maybe the day after I smoke like 20 cigarette packs a day, maybe that'll lower it for me to the— no. I wouldn't smoke. I don't need to, I live in California. Yeah, not to bring up things, but that person who said like I didn't have a pretty art style, I did mention that they did apologize, and I did the little PSA because I was like, maybe I should just like let people know. Just in case. Like, I want it to be known that my community, I don't tolerate that kind of behavior. I want it to be a very positive space because I'm already a very negative person sometimes. So, you know, let me keep one thing that's fine, like not tainted with like spite and everything. Anyways, so I already put that they apologized, and I posted it, and I blocked out the username, of course, because it's like, I don't need to draw attention to this person. And then they had quoted my PSA, and they wrote out, like, a whole other thing in, like, their own language. And it just gives me, like, kind of, like, icky vibes. But this person is also, like, really young, so it's like, well, maybe they'll, like, grow out of it, so I'm not gonna, like, be bothered by it too much. But they were basically saying, like, oh, I don't socialize a lot, and I feel really safe online, so I like to be honest online, and it's like, there's a time and place for honesty, and if that was you being honest, then I think that your true colors are a little ugly right now. Yeah, I'm sure they will grow out of it, and I hope they do, because it's like, if they continue like this online, that is going to be the strangest, well, not strangest, but it's going to be, like, really hilarious to just, like, kind of watch and be like, wow. Okay. But yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of, like, them deflecting the blame. Their initial apology was way better than this other one. And according to them, this wasn't the first time they had gotten in trouble too, because they were too honest, and I'm like, you'd think you'd have noticed by now, but I'll be gracious about it, I guess. If they do it if they do it again to me though, I'm like, I'll be spiteful. I won't say anything like outlandishly mean, but I will say my piece if I have to. But for now, it's just like, okay, well, things I think are going decently well, at the very least, so. Yeah, I am hopeful that they will grow out of it. I hope they do. You don't usually hope for a person to get worse, except for one person. Oh my god, this truly is just like the internet drama. Yeah, part of the stream. that Johnny Somali guy who's been like harassing people in South Korea. Not that I want him to get worse, but I am just like on the edge of my seat. Like, please, 30 years in prison for this man. Please, he is blatantly racist. He makes terrorism jokes on like public transportation and everything. I have never seen like a man so well deserving of like a life sentence without actually killing someone. And like I am just waiting for like my favorite like commentary channels to just like, yes, they got him. They got him. He's there for 50 years. He'll never like come back to the internet, because he doesn't deserve to come back to the internet. That is a person that I don't think will ever get better. And I'm not afraid to say like, yeah, fuck this guy. Genuinely, fuck this guy. I thrive off of spite, and it's so bad. I was hanging out with a coworker and Johnny, because him and that coworker are friends. And it was just really funny because Johnny was talking about something, and then just after he was done, it's like, I'm still here because I live off of spite and I cannot let the haters win. And that is exactly why I'm here today, to be angry and spiteful. I think I get it from my dad. I'm not gonna lie. Because now that I think about it, there were a lot of instances where he was kind of like the tough love kind of parent. He still kind of is, actually. And I think, like, he kind of expects, like, that sort of, like, spite to, that sort of, like, I think he expects us to be, like, spiteful and, like, prove him wrong. Like, no, Dad, I can do this, watch. Unfortunately, of course, it doesn't work for everyone, but thankfully it worked for me. I do things because I am petty. I am a petty person. And I'm not ashamed of it. And I shouldn't have to be, because this is hilarious. It really, the only time, like, being spiteful is probably a bad thing is when, like, your views are actually, like, harmful, I think. I think that is, like, the only time where maybe it's like, okay, maybe you shouldn't be more spiteful, and maybe you should actually, like, listen to what people are trying to tell you. But I think the way I do it is just, like, I think the way I do it is, like, very harmless. Like, oh, corporate wants you to hold this stupid price gun at the window when you greet the customers. Okay, corporate, fuck you. I'm just gonna leave it, like, right here on the window ledge so I never have to remember again. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I do that I think is just very, like, silly. And, like, again, harmless, but again, shows off, like, I'm so, like, done with a lot of things. Like, okay, you want me to do this? I'm gonna actively find... You want me to do more for your company. I'm gonna actively go out of my way to do less. And we call that malicious compliance. But it works. Like, I'm still doing what they told me to do, it's just... I'm not gonna do it the exact way they expect me to. I'm gonna find a way to make it easier for myself, and I would say, like, haha, get, I don't know, get styled on. But yeah. I think we'll be able to finish this, yeah, we should be able to finish this before stream's over, and then we can move on to... I think, actually, I would like to render the Stardew one, the Stardew thumbnail instead, because if I don't do that, then it might just never get done, and I think that'll be a fun one to close off on. Let's get back to the Stardew talk, actually. Last night, me and Johnny played again, because of course we've been playing every night, and I'm probably gonna play again when he comes back home after stream. Probably for like an hour, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how tired I am. For the first time ever, Johnny completed the community center legitimately, like, without cheats. And we did that in our little, like, private co-op file. So we're on our way to unlocking Ginger Island. I just finished Elliot's 14 Heart event. Very cute, very wholesome. I don't understand how people hate him. He's so funny. But, like, yeah, he's... I'm excited to go to Ginger Island because, when I used to play with my ex, we had gotten right about that far before we broke up. So, never picked up the game again because I'm just terrible at single-player Stardew. Like, the only reason things will get done in a Stardew file and it's me playing is because Johnny is also playing. Or somebody else is also playing, because again, I'm just that bad at the game. All it is, really, I think, I just get, like, really, like, overwhelmed, and I don't know, like, what to do, and there's so much to memorize, and I'm just like, I just want to play the game and not worry about getting things done. And technically, I know I can, but then Grandpa's gonna come year 3 and tell me I have no bitches, so... so here we are. And speaking of Stardew, I also have a little thing that I'm working on. Because when am I never not working on things? I sound so, like, pessimistic. I promise I really, really, truly do enjoy it and love what I do. It's just sometimes I think about it and I'm like, wow, this really is all I do sometimes, huh? I still love it, though. Let me see. I'll finish... no, I should show it off right now, because we're on the topic of it, and wait, you really are constantly busy. If you want, okay, to give a brief rundown of my schedule, if you start my week like this, Monday, is mostly free, except for the hours of 5 to about 8 o'clock, where I have to go to the game store and run a D&D one-shot, which may or may not happen because our store doesn't have a super big D&D audience, so kind of working on that. Tuesday is stream in the morning, and then I'm free the rest of the day. Then my work week starts. My work week starts Wednesday, 10 to 6:30 p.m. every day for 4 days. So Wednesday through Saturday, I am at Carl's Jr., fighting for my life against the burger demons. And then Sunday, that's when my 3-day sort of weekend starts. And then Thursday night, there's also stream. And then Sunday, that is the day where literally nothing is going on. That's also the day that I like to designate to, like, check on my rocks, because that's kind of been, like, a very, like, side little hobby that I've been enjoying a lot. And then, in between all of that, I am working on art. So, to say that I'm packed, to say that I am busy, is a little bit of an understatement. And, on one hand, it's, like, kind of sad, I guess, because it's like, oh, when do I really have a day off then? Because, like, if I want to make art my career, then anytime I'm working on art, I'm working. But I enjoy art a lot, so, like, even if I am just drawing, it's a lot of fun. How am I holding out? Pretty good, honestly. The work days are obviously the toughest, especially at Carl's Jr., because, you know, you're standing the whole time, you have to do, like, your little customer service act, and, sometimes the customers are a little pissy, and you're just there like, well, you know what, maybe I'll put a little extra ice in your drink just because you're giving me attitude. That's my one... That's my one solace of working at Carl's Jr. It's getting to be, like, absolutely petty in, like, the least the most harmless way possible. But yeah, I hold up fine, I think. I enjoy this. Again, the only thing really is just I need to remember to actually properly take breaks. To put my wrist health into even better perspective, I hand out food at a drive-thru window, right? That is most of what I do at Carl's Jr. Because of how much I draw, and because of some of the things at work, but it's mostly the drawing. There have been like days where I hand out the customers food like this, and I have the bag, and the bag's like pulling down on my wrist, and it hurts. And I'm just there like, please take it before I drop it. Well, yeah, besides that, like, I wouldn't say it's anything like unmanageable. Like, the toughest part, honestly, is you need a break ASAP. Nah, no. That's an insane claim with no basis. I don't. Your argument holds no water. I see no evidence here. But no, in all seriousness, yeah. But to be fair, my wrist hasn't been hurting all that bad lately. You know, I'm falling behind on art because I'm playing Stardew with Johnny, so, you know, it's kind of a break. Yeah, I do love what I do. The hardest thing in the week for me? Waking up for work. You have to get up early enough to take out my dogs, too, is the thing. So it's just kind of like, I don't want to wake up right now. I want to sleep in a little longer. That's part of the reason why I want to take, like, night shifts again. But, let me grab my iPad here. I'm still looking away, use my foot. There we go. Now, I know people that are like you and are holding out fine, so I believe you. Thank you. Believe me, I will, I promise, I solemnly swear that if I think my wrist is about to fall off of my arm, I will stop. I will put an announcement and I will be like, guys, my fingers feel like dust and my wrist is hanging by a thread. I am taking a break from art. I promise I promise I will stop before it gets to like permanent damage things. But also speaking on like wrist health, actually, this is a wonderful segue into what I was trying to like share with you guys. See, I love having like the Medibang stuff as a, like I like that I can export this as a PSD and then I can just put it onto Medibang through my iPad and be like, hey, look guys, I don't have to show you my iPad and flashbang you because I have it on light mode still. Save. I just always forget how to use it on Apple. Medibang on the Apple products is terrible. Don't use it. Just use it to like transfer like stuff from Procreate to Medibang so you can draw on your computer again. That's all I use it for. What did I title this? Hang on. I have a lot of, I have like such a I'm such a mess sometimes. So, I posted the script a little while ago. I think it was actually last week. I can't remember. When did I lose my iPad? Like right before New Year's? It's like a week or two ago. I thought it would be a cute little thing to do. If I made my own little pretend heart event in Stardew. Now, of course, I know nothing about modding. I know nothing about pixel art. And I know nothing about, animation. That's the third thing. But I do know one other thing, and that is making comics. So, this is a funny little thing that I thought it would be fun to do. Here we go. I should rename that so that it's page 1, huh? Yeah. I haven't done a comic page in a while, let alone a multiple page comic, but, the dialogue isn't here yet because it's just gonna get in the way and I need to put that on its own layer. But yeah. It's a little saloon hangout. Again, I posted the script. I don't know if anyone, like, remembers, like, what was actually said on there because, I know I just kind of barely, like, remembered the own plot that I wrote, so, yeah. Um, I don't normally go this far and do like the detailed sketch on my iPad because I don't like drawing on my iPad too much, but I figured, well, it's probably not going to get onto a computer anytime soon. I should probably do it here. Basic gist though, I guess my little Sona, it's kind of me, kind of not, it's mostly me. The little Cursona, little saloon hangout, and it's basically just talking about like, hey, love what you do, but it's unfortunate, like, if the thing that you love doing is also like harmful in like excessive amounts. So it's just a little like reminder to take breaks. The irony of this, by the way, is the fact that I will be doing this, I will be inking and rendering and everything. And by the end of this, my wrist is probably going to be as messed up as it will be implied to be here. I don't know why I do this to myself, but I do. It's so cute. I love the expressions and the way you drew your Sona on him. Oh, thank you. I don't consider expressions to be my strong suit, honestly. I think they're a bit tough for me to do. I think they did come out alright here. It's been a while since I've done, like, comic pages. I think the proportions could stand to be a little bit better, too. Probably fix some things up, in post. The toughest thing right now, for me, is, I need to find a way to get the proportions and everything way more consistent from panel to panel. I had to take a break after finishing a piece about taking break. Exactly! Yeah, I didn't think this through very well, as you can see. But, yeah, this wouldn't be the first time I've done, like, a multiple page comic. I wish there was a search bar on desktop Twitter that I could use in my profile to find things that were part of my profile. But, I had the longest series of comic pages I've done was 9 pages, and that was based off of a fanfic I wrote between, my Tav, Aerie, and Astarion. That one was fun. That was a lot of fun to do. That one really taught me a lot about, like keeping, like, interesting shots in your comic panels, like, expressions and stuff. That one was fun, but the art is definitely, like, dated now, and I'm just like, tragedy. But the story was cool. Well, I want to pull it up, actually. Well, we'll take a break right now from drawing, so I can talk about, silly art stuff. Let's see, where would I be able to find all of those pages in a, like, nice, concise thread? Maybe on my Blue Sky, actually. Maybe I can, like, get to it. Not likes. I need to go to my media. Actually, no. I think on my Instagram it would be there. My Instagram that I don't use. I do sort of use my Instagram, just barely. Instagram. I updated the card link, right? I did. Congratulations if you, for some reason, wanted a 4th or 3rd platform to follow me on. You can follow me on Instagram. It's just I do nothing on here most of the time. When did I post the comic? Yeah, here we go. Boop. Nope. Boop. There we go. Let me turn this down a teeny bit, actually. So, basic gist of the comic was, Aerie almost died, and Astarion doesn't have a heartbeat, yada yada yada. But yeah, this ending part is the one that is the part that I really like, because this is where I deviate from, like, the end of the comic and go into, like, something else. And, it's hinted at here, and there is, I'm gonna put a gore warning before I go to the next page. The whole thing is, like, after Baldur's Gate 3, Astarion can't be in the sun anymore, and you guys are, I think it's, like, theorized, or, like, implied that you that your character and Astarion are looking for a cure to vampirism. And there's a few ways to do it in like canon D&D, right? You can use a wish spell. There's a whole thing where if you stake the vampire and then like use true resurrection on them, that'll revive them, but that's only if they really, really, really don't want to be a vampire anymore. I'm sure there's like one or two other ways, but there's not a lot. And because it's me, of course I have to make it about like a weird, wholesome body horror twist. So, my idea was, you will cut the two persons open. You're gonna cut their hearts in half, switch them around a little, and then you'll sew them back up and just put it back inside the body. I'm yes, the most Cairo way imaginable. Yeah, let me just make this as horrendously bloody and horrific as possible. But it's wholesome, you know, they each carry a piece of each other, you know? Oh my god. It's wholesome body horror. Where else are you gonna find it but here? But yeah, next page, you just get to like see more of the process. You can see like both halves like stitched together. And the basic idea was that her half would help his half like beat, and it would give him like enough semblance of being alive to like... It's not a full cure for vampirism, as you can see, because his eyes are still red. But it's very much supposed to be like a... What's it called? I'm blanking. It's very much supposed to be like a this isn't close enough. And I actually have like two like different ways that it branches out. I like to think that like in some parts of it, like in one like continuity, Astarion's like vampirism traits or whatever are a little bit more dominant. So they just like sort of become like these immortal adventurers that run around the Sword Coast and help people out. The other side of it is that Ares' half is more dominant in a sense, and it gives him enough semblance to accidentally create a child. And that's where Strelitzia comes into play. You're filling a niche in the market. All jokes aside, it is a very cute and wholesome piece. Thank you. I'm sorry. I love the idea of like you split the hearts in half and then you put them together. I think there's something very romantic about that. Body horror is a love language. You heard it here, folks. But yeah, in the case in which Ares like half is a little bit like more dominant, he becomes way like more resemblant of being alive, and they kind of have a child together, and I like both routes, right? Because on one hand, I hate children, and I hate the idea of pregnancy, and I hate giving my OCs children because I cannot fathom it, right? Like, I don't have baby fever, I have puppy fever, and puppy fever is what is driving me to like... I heard a voice behind me. Anyways, a little scared now. I want another puppy. Anyways, I don't really get like baby fever. I don't really like see myself having a child, but this was... everyone was making Astarion into a dad when I did this. And I was just like, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. And, this is such an unintelligible lore rant. I was thinking about it. I didn't want to give Strelitzia, like, any kind of, like, different eye color because, same, I never want to have kids. Pets all the way, though. Yes, absolutely. another like-minded individual. I like basically, I don't have, like, my own headcanon eye color for Astarion. I think I personally would go, like, green, I think. But I'm not, like, too entirely sure on that. So I didn't want to give Strelitzia, like, any other colors, and I didn't want to give her, like, Aries eyes either. I thought red would be cute because she would, I think, technically be a Dampire. So I thought that would be, like, a funny little thing. And then because she's also a tiefling, it's very not suspicious. Which I think, again, is very funny. But Strelitzia, I've already mentioned her name. I decided on that name for one reason and one reason only. And that is because Strelitzias, if you don't know, I'm gonna pull them up here. If you don't know them by this name, you probably know them by a different name, which is the Bird of Paradise flower. And because they very much resemble a bird, a lot of times they are associated with freedom, which, if you don't know, is a huge part of Astarion's story, and also, coincidentally, happens to be part of Ares' story. So the idea that they both kind of, like, came from, like, these little, like, fucked up families, and, they're finally, like, free from both of them, and then they have a child, and they name it after a flower that represents freedom. I think that has to be one of the most, like, I guess Hallmark Christmas movie, not necessarily, Hallmark movie endings ever. Oh, so it resembles what they desired so much that is so clever. Exactly! It's that type of symbolism that I'm such a slut for. But yeah, and I don't think I'll ever draw, like, an older, aged up version of Strelitzia. I like her as a baby. She's so cute and silly. I like to think that she's very much a gremlin like her parents. Ooh, that's old art. Let's not look at that anymore. But yeah. Again, I think it's just, like, a very, like, cute thing. As you can see, I'm very much, like, a storyteller, an artist, and all kinds of things. You're a what for that? I am a slut for like, clever symbolism. I'm a slut for flower love languages. Like, I love stuff like that. Lilac, for example, the drow, that I also ship Aerie with when she's not busy romancing Astarion. Lilac, her name is Lilac because she's a spore druid, and if you don't know, spore druids are like the necromancer druid class or subclass. And lilacs, specifically, like, I think the dark purple lilacs, they do represent grief and mourning, which again is perfect for this character. And like, what am I gonna do? Complain? Complain when, like, everything has just been, like, put together on a silver platter right there in front of me? Like, I enjoy stuff like this. I love writing, I love world building. Another perfect symbolism, exactly. I live for this stuff. I write, I world build, I draw. Now, if only I could split myself into, like, 2 other people, so we could divide the work into 3. But yeah, I enjoy this stuff. It's like I think even the amethyst on, like, Aries' necklace, like, can hold a little bit of, like, symbolism, but I forget, like, the exact, like, crystal healing property of that one, so. But yeah, I'm just, like, super into this stuff. I'm, like, very weird and silly about it. But yeah, I think Aerie and Astarion's endings are both beautiful, just regardless of, like, which one you prefer more. I like it's so hard for me to, like, decide which one I like more, because I really do love both. I love the idea of them, like, raising a little daughter after coming from, like, very, like, fucked up backgrounds, and very much not wanting, like, children, but, like, they have this opportunity, and they're like, you know what? Like, maybe like the cycle ends here, and just all of that. It's nice. Now, if only I actually wanted to have children, because I don't. I like kids from like a reasonable distance. It's like, oh, that's a cute child. It's cute when they're not screaming and crying and like. It's so cringe having being a child. The idea that people who live in constant chaos can finally rest is nice. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's always nice to see. And I like both routes, too, because the idea of them just, like, being these immortal adventurers who go around, like, helping other, like, vampire spawn, for example, maybe. I think that's also just, like, a really, like, cute idea. Especially because it seems like Astarion, like, very much looks up to, Drizzt, I think. And I think it's just, like, a really, like, cute opportunity for them. And I also don't want to, like, think about them dying either, so it's like, you know, let me give them an out. And it's not like they can't die either, because of the way their hearts, my bad, because of the way their hearts would be, like, connected, if one dies, so does the other. So, like, they're just, like, bound like that forever, which, actually kind of came from an anime concept, or from an anime I watched a long time ago. There was like a whole bit in an episode where it was like this children's story about a girl and a monster, and everyone in the village thought that the monster had like kidnapped the girl or was holding her hostage. So they killed the monster, but when they went to go rescue the girl was dead, and it was because the monster was her heart. And I thought that was really beautiful, and that was a lot of the inspiration for Aerie and Astarion's ending. That is why being an uncle or relative is better than being a dad, because you can just hand the kids to their parents and be the fun uncles. So true. Speaking of uncles, this is kind of funny. I'm so jealous of my dad for having literally the coolest like uncle name either. He doesn't appreciate what he has, and to be fair, he has every right to, given like some context, but I won't get into that. In either Tagalog, Bisaya, or both, do is kind of like the Filipino equivalent of like dude. So my uncles call my dad do, right? Kind of like an affectionate nickname, in a sense. But because they all call him do, the children, some of my cousins, have taken to calling him Uncle Do, which is literally just Uncle Dude. And I'm like, I want that to be me. Like, why can't that be me? Why can't I be Uncle Dude? Like, that has to be, like, the greatest thing ever. Oops. Did not mean to do that. I think that's everything that needs highlights with highlights now, though. Yippee, we can move on to rims. Oh yeah, Uncle Dude, that rules. It does! It does, it goes like so hard. Oh my god. I just remembered, speaking of Filipino, 10 minutes before stream, I did actually add a viewer reward. Where is it? How do you open the thing here? Oh my god. Get started. Yeah, there we go. There's a new channel redeem. For 100 channel points, you can get me to teach you Bisaya, because I have to hold myself accountable somehow for learning this language. You can use it up to 3 times per stream, in which case I will stop whatever I will finish whatever I'm rambling about, and then move on to that topic. Because one, this is gonna inevitably force me to learn new phrases and new grammar rules, and teaching is one of the best ways that you can learn, so I'm sure this will work out. Hopefully. And it's probably gonna help with like my pronunciation too, because I can pronounce it like Bisaya in Filipino like pretty well, because I've heard it so much, so I know what each letter is supposed to sound like. But it's still like a little bit shaky because I don't speak it that often is the problem. But yeah, if you guys ever wanted something to use the channel points for, there you go. We finally have a use for them, guys. Besides just highlighting messages. I finally remembered to put that in, and I want to come up with more too. It's just I'm not particularly good at figuring out what they should be used for. Predictions would be fun, but I feel like I don't play enough games where that's like possible. Nor do I think I have a big enough audience for everyone to like be gambling those around. So you know, like it's like one thing, but I'm not too sure. I think eating a fruit would be really funny, but we don't usually have like a lot of fruit in the house. We do have the pineapple. I've been forgetting to eat the pineapple. I should wake up early tomorrow and eat the pineapple. Another one that I thought would be funny for a little bit until I thought about it a little more was if you redeem X amount of points, Clive will walk into the door and hit me on the head with a stick. I think it would have been like funny the first time, but at some point it would probably have to like escalate to be like to you know like keep it being like funny, and I don't really want to be hit on the head that hard. Maybe we should change it from like a stick to like a pool noodle or something. But yeah, I don't know about other like channel redeems for the points. If you guys have any ideas, do please let me know. Oh, another one that I thought would be fun is the I have like a few like tabletop RPG card deck stuff. So I got one thing. It's called the Deck of Many Insults. I can read an insult that you can add to your collection of insults to tell someone when they piss you off. Because I still haven't forgotten the sock full of pennies that we are going to beat up scammers with. They haven't texted me in a while. It would feel a little random, and I don't want to see you hurt no matter how much you dislike body horror. Or no matter how much you like body horror. The bag of insults could be fun. Yeah, that could be fun. Like, you can redeem 50 points, and I'll pull something from the deck and be like, hey guys, here's a fun insult you can use against someone. And there are some good ones in there. Ones that I like more than others. Because some of them, they just call you ugly. The ones that legitimately go out of your way to call you, like, a waste of, like, oxygen is so funny to me. They're also just, like, fun to use at, like, the D&D table, too. Speaking of D&D, we did actually have people... one kid show up for the weekly one-shots on Monday nights. It was really funny because one of the bards does like vicious mockery against one of the sleigh drivers. It was essentially like a Mario Kart one-shot, if I had to describe it. It was a race, and the entire thing was just like 15 rounds of combat. Can you make it to, can you like hold first place? So one of the characters, he like uses vicious mockery, and I was like, do you have anything to say? Like, how do you like viciously mock this guy? And he said he doesn't know. And I'm like, okay, here's what you do. You stare at him, and you just kind of like give him some funny looks, and you're really getting into his head. You are essentially emoting on him, and it is causing psychic damage. Which was just really funny. I'm proud of balancing that one shot, honestly. I think after playing it once, it definitely like could use a little bit of work here and there. Cause there are some things that you can do that's just a little overpowered. But it was funny. One thing that one player took to doing was jumping from the carts or from the sleighs onto another sleigh, and then pushing the driver off so that the cart would careen off course. And he would do this over and over and over again in like the last like 5 rounds. And it was just so funny to imagine. The character he was playing was a tabaxi fighter. So it was really funny to imagine just like this cat jumping from sleigh to sleigh, pushing people over, and then falling off. And because I was basing it off of Mario Kart, I was just like, okay, if you fall off your sleigh, you essentially lose your turn for the round, but you will be back the next round, like when the little Lakitu like has to fish you up out of the cliff. But you will get like if your entire cart got knocked out, you would essentially just be put in last place, and it was just really funny to like watch the whole thing like unfold. And I'm glad the kid seemed like he was having fun too. This week though, I think it's definitely gonna be a murder mystery, and I came up with a really cool twist for the murder mystery after bouncing some ideas off of Johnny. Oh, that's a good thing to do. Thank you. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with D&D. It's definitely a little rusty on the DM seat, but it's alright. I will work my way back up eventually, and I'm sure I'll probably get like 0 turnout for like the next like 4 weeks. Cries. It's okay. I still need to find a way to like properly like put out like a post. Like, do you guys want to play D&D on stream with me? I will be the DM, and I will give you these pre-made character sheets, balance for the one-shot, yada yada yada. I want to find like a more efficient way to do that, because I think it'd be a lot of fun with like more players. But yeah. I know for this coming one-shot, I want it to be like a murder mystery. I have like some funny twists. I know the ending that I want to work towards. I think the ending is just like very like silly. I say silly, and it's definitely about murder. But it's because I like to poke fun at. Yes, please. I will try to find a way. Maybe if I make a Discord server, this is what it's gonna be for. Like, guys, if you want to play D&D on stream with me, this is where you're gonna go. But yeah, I like to poke fun at like edgy characters, because it's not that I disrespect like their backstories or anything. It's just funny to me. Like, it's like you can't expect like your edgy characters to like succeed at everything. So this is just me sort of like taking a light like jab at it. But basically, I think for me, the twist that I want is this person was seeking out vengeance for, like, I don't know, because this one guy, like, killed their family or whatever. And the twist is that the guy had a twin brother, and the guy killed the wrong twin and still got arrested in the end. Which I think is just, like, a very, like, silly thing. Like, it's just... Can you imagine somebody for a moment in like a fantasy world? You have a twin brother who goes out adventuring, and you don't see them all that often, but you know they're like out there like living their best life or whatever. And then you get killed by some random stranger, and then you learn that they were trying to kill your brother, and they ended up murking the wrong sibling. Like, that has to be like. Like, realistically, in, like, the world of Faerun, that has to have happened at least once. And I think I am going to have it happen here for my little one-shot for the store. Just because, again, I think it'd be funny. I think the players are gonna get a good laugh out of that one. And, again, just... I enjoy being silly, and I do want for my one-shots to be, like, more episodic, because I recognize that not everyone can make it to the same session over and over again. Like, schedules are hard. So, I know the other DM, he kind of has, like, an overarching storyline that he's kind of going for, but they're still, like, one-shots at the end of the day. So I understand if he's, like, a little bit more strict and, like, kind of has to, like, railroad the players just a tiny bit. But, I personally don't mind if people want to be silly. I want to encourage it. I want to be like, hey, This is, I know one-shots can be a little railroady, but I will let you guys have fun so long as you guys are promising to get to the goal that you guys are supposed to get to. I think that's a good way to, like, approach it. Because, you know, you don't want to be, like, too, you don't want to be, like, too pushy. You still want to give players, like, a ton of, like, freedom to, like, do whatever it is that they, so desire. Like, take the eco-terrorism one-shot, for example. In the final boss for that one-shot, one of the characters turned into a rat and crawled up some guy's pants. And, like, what am I gonna do? Say no to that? That's silly. That's hilarious. That's gonna make everyone laugh, and it's gonna make me look like a better DM, even though I'm quite literally doing nothing but enabling this guy. Yeah. I don't think... I've technically been, like, a DM for, like, a while, but I don't know if I have, like, a lot of, like, enough experience to really say, like, oh, I'm a Dungeons and Dragons veteran. But, it is something that I enjoy doing, and I think, based off of, like, how I used to run, like, early sessions, I've definitely gotten, like, much, much better at it. So I'm personally, like, happy and proud about that. And again, everyone who's, like, played in the one-shot seems to be, like, having a lot of fun with them, because, you know, I do try to have fun with things. I do try to, like, make really, like, fun stories that people can, like, invest in and enjoy. And even when they are supposed to be a little bit serious, I let them have their silly moments, because, what's D&D? Well, what is the D&D table without laughter? It's not really a D&D table. Because, you know, you can't account for, like, good rolls all the time. You can't account for, players being able to find, like, the next plot point right away. And I think the best way that I've found to, like, organize my notes is just put, like, a bunch of bullet points of, like, what the players should find and just improv the rest. You'll probably get there. Because surprisingly, I am decent at, like, improvising things on the spot. Like, I know I stutter a lot here and I lose my train of thought on stream, but when I'm really, like, locked in for, like, D&D mode, it's like, okay, well, here's how things will play out if things play out the way they're supposed to, and if I gotta pivot, then I just have to pivot, and that's all it is. I usually just, like, blurt, like, the first thing that comes to mind, because I'm already, like, I guess it comes easy to me because, like, I'm already, like, so, like, invested in, like, the world and stuff, so it's, like, it's like, it's so, like, concrete, the world building and everything is so concrete in my head that I guess it just works out. Everything in D&D is chance anyway, so it is good to be able to laugh at it sometimes. Yeah, exactly. If the rogue, rolls a nat 1 on their stealth, what am I gonna... I'm going to make fun of it. Because that's exactly what nat 1s are. You make fun of the character a little. And, you know, and making fun of them isn't really, like, punishment. Punishment would be like, okay, you failed your stealth roll so bad that, you're not gonna get any more chances to, like, save it. We're just gonna go straight into initiative, and in fact, because you did a critical fail, you're going to be surprised this round, actually. I don't like doing that. I think it's a lot better if you just, like, poke fun at them, like, oh, you slipped on a banana peel when you were tiptoeing around the corner. And then for some reason there was a well-placed whoopee cushion right there and you landed on it. Like, that's just more fun to me. I don't think there's any reason for punishing players on, like, chance stuff. Or things based on chance. You can probably punish players if they're, like, actually, like, being, like, a nuisance at the table, but not on rolls based on chance. That just feels like a little, like... Like, you know how, like, speedrunners will complain, like, oh, I don't like this part of the run because so much of it relies on RNG and it punishes the run for that reason? That's kind of what, like, D&D... that's kind of what I want to avoid with D&D. Yeah, and I think that's a good way to handle the table. Let's see. We do this bit of rim light first. Oops. Yeah, this is coming along nicely. I was trying to find a way to see, like, can I make the Fuggler look like any, like, good? Because I recognize that it is supposed to be, like, a very, like, funny and ugly doll, and, like, that's the whole theme around Fugglers, but I was like, I wonder if I could actually, like, make this look kind of cute. And the more that I looked at it, I was like, man, they really did such a good job at making this the ugliest goddamn doll in existence. And I love it for that. And, you know, I'm glad I got this opportunity to, like, push my art style just a little bit, just to see what would happen. Because my one concern, I think, with this was, am I gonna, like, hate drawing this so much that I kind of, like, don't try with it? Or it was also gonna be, like, is this gonna look so ugly that it's just, like, even my art style won't make it look good? But I think, overall, it's, like, this is very much a Fuggler. This is, and it's my art style, and I think it works out for the most part. The only thing, maybe, is that it looks worse because the arms and legs are, like, longer than the actual doll. Which kind of makes it look a bit, like, freaky, but it's like, well, what can you do? It's my art style. What are you gonna do? Tell me how to draw it? No. Anyways, I hope this will be ready by, like, tomorrow. I need an art post lined up, and I don't have, well, I guess I have the comic page. But I want people to, like, know, like, I'm still working on the holiday raffle stuff, I swear. It's just my work week starts on Wednesday, and I got distracted with, like, picking up inking and breaking myself in for that. Push that art style. It is good. Thank you! Yeah, I love to push my art. If I have any advice for, like, artists out there who are, like, beginning and stuff, this is it. If you are... You will not get anywhere with art if you do not push yourself with the art. You need to be able to be out of your comfort zone. And you need to be able to step out of your comfort zone and expand it, is what I mean. So, my big posters, for example, those are super important to me. Not only because, like, I think they look really good, but because, the way, again, that I use them is to build up, like, endurance, so I can actually do things like comic pages. So, because, this is gonna be another hilarious tangent. To break it down, comic pages, at the end of the day, they're just multiple pieces on one page, right? So, like, every single, like, panel is its own illustration. Let's put it that way. And, that is a lot. That is a lot, and it is, like, you are going to have to find a way to fit it in there. You're gonna have to get used to drawing, like, multiple characters, and it's gonna be, like, consistency, and there's, like, a whole, like, it's a whole mindset that you're gonna have to, like, it's a whole new mindset that you have to, like, put yourself in, because, it's likely that you've never done it before. And, the way I began to get more comfortable doing comics was with the big posters, where I would force myself to illustrate 10 or more characters, approaching 20 characters even, and do that. And it was a great way for me to build up, that sort of, like, endurance for, like, these bigger pieces, because it's like, alright, it's already in my head that I know this is gonna take a while, so I'm just going to go for it, and I'm just going to grind at it, and I just have to, like, get stronger at it, and that's all it is. And you know what's the cool part about that? It worked, because when I did my comic pages for Baldur's Gate 3 before, because I've done like a good handful of them already, it worked, because it's like, now it's no longer like, oh, I'm drawing like so many characters on this canvas. It's oh, well, I've done worse before, so this is child's play. Like, even for like my webcomic cover, that was 6 characters, and 6 characters is a lot to like hand draw at the end of the day. Because, again, each of those has to be, like, sketched, inked, colored, and rendered. 6 characters is, again, a lot. But because I had done these massive posters before with almost 20, it didn't feel like a lot. I got done a lot faster than I think I was expecting in my head. And I was like, wow, that's great. So that's my advice for artists. If you want to do the stuff that's outside of your comfort zone, you're just gonna have to push yourself to do the stuff that's outside of your comfort zone and just expand it. I think that goes for like a lot of things too. Like, you want to do this thing, okay, then just start practicing it, start doing something adjacent to it. And, you know, the posters also didn't help for everything too, because it's not like for the posters, I draw the same character over and over and over again. And, uh-oh. I'm gonna have to fix that. Oh my god. The stabilizer, please. There's so many... Medibang just gets to a point sometimes where it just kind of wants to like tank its performance, because I've already put like so much on the canvas, and I'm like, I understand, Medibang, that I'm asking a lot of you, but we need to get this done. But first step is always the hardest, and you just need to find a way to get going and get momentum. Yeah, exactly. And again, it's not like the posters help for everything with comic pages or anything, because drawing the same character consistently is an entirely different skill set from drawing a lot of things on one thing. It's also just like the different angles and stuff. It's different, but like pushing yourself like that is a good step in the right direction. Say you want to start painting like more realistically. I think a good way to like start easing your way into it is thin out your line art and try and go for like no lines eventually. Not that I would ever do that, but you know me, I'm in love with line art. That's another way to like start getting used to that. I want to do analog inking. I showed that off a few days ago, I think the day before yesterday, on something. It was some like X number of days ago, I don't remember. But I tried to break myself in, and I just went for it. Thankfully, there's a lot of like drawing, there's a lot of art principles that I already know that's going to help me out a lot, but it was still like, oh my god, I don't know how to use this pen, and I don't know how to do this, and I don't understand how this works, and I don't understand why when I only have a little bit of pressure on the pen, I don't understand why it's not tapering off the way that I want it to. Things like that. But it's the fact that I am like trying to expand that comfort zone in the first place, really like push it out, is what's helping me, I think. And it's again, it's a great way to just keep learning new things. You don't I think the worst thing you can do to yourself is get comfortable and stagnate and never try anything new when it comes to your craft. I'm always I like to try new things. I'm a little scared of it sometimes, because sometimes I'm worried that I don't actually have the strongest grasp of art that I profess that I do sometimes. But, you know, you get over your nerves, and you just go do the thing that you told yourself that you were going to do. And that's how you that's how you get to do comics. That's how you get to do big character pieces. That's how you get to do all the things that you see your other favorite artists doing. And it's, again, just it's a fun process. I enjoy it a lot. Yeah, and this year I do want to learn like more art styles. I think that would be good for me because, again, I don't want to stagnate. I want to try new things, and trying new things involves a lot of like changes that need to happen. And analog inking, I think, is going to be one of those that's going to be really fun. I'm trying to find like some good tutorials to follow. There's one studio that I really like the work for. The artist who does their comic pages has such a beautiful like art style. Like, she really like has a wonderful way of like taking ink to putting like ink most like it is the most important part of the piece. Like, it's not the color, it's not the render, it is the ink. The ink is like everything of the piece, and I absolutely love that, and I want to see if I can like imitate that. I don't know if I'll be able to, but that is definitely something that I want to work towards. And I think even after this year ends, I don't want to like stop it too. So look forward to like just seeing like new stuff on the socials, because you know, I'm gonna be having a lot of fun with this journey. I had a lot of fun trying out ink drawing for the first time, and the cool thing to me is that when I watch this artist do her line work, there's so many things about her line work that I see that I do in my line work, and I'm like, I guess it was kind of an eye-opener for me. Like, wow, I really do have like my art style very is like comic-like, huh? Like, I never, because I don't read a lot of like traditional comics. I was never that kind of person. Like, I was never super into it. But I think intuitively, or somewhere in my brain, I must have really liked certain aspects of the style, because I use a lot of elements from it, apparently. And it's cool to see like another artist doing things that I do that are considered for a certain medium, and it's like, oh, I do that. That's like, maybe I didn't see this person do it specifically, but I've seen it a lot in this art style. I must have like picked it up from that. Just like really, really cool things, and I don't know. I think it's neat. Coming up with your own art style is such a strange process. I used to describe it as like, oh, you just look at a bunch of artists and then you see like which parts of the artist you like and you put it together in a little Frankenstein. Well, that's honestly not really the case. Developing an art style is just so much trial and error and just learning from like things that you like. There's a lot of stuff about my art style that is inspired by different artists, but there's a lot of stuff about my art style that I think is very unique to my art style. Like, I don't see a lot of other artists doing it. I think my rendering is definitely one of those things where it's like, I don't see a lot of people really go out of their way to make their cartoon work look like it was filled in with colored pencil the way I do. But yeah, I think it's definitely one of my favorite aspects of it. Just a lot of fun stuff. Okay. And I think building an art style, again, is just making your own art style is just a lot of trial and error. What do you like? What do you not like? And can you, like, a lot of it is translation too, I think. It's like, okay, well, you've made this character in this art style. Could you do it again for a character with different features? A lot of it is getting comfortable with drawing different things, right? That's what an art style is, because you can draw the same character a bunch of times, right? But can you draw different characters and still have it believably be part of your style? I think that's where that's when you really start to have, like, everything start getting defined and stuff. Okay. The last thing I need to do for this is actually a few things. I need to push this out more, so that way it doesn't, like, it looks properly bordered. And then up here too. What time is it? Oh my god, it's 12:25 already. Oh boy. Good yap session. We love our twice a week yap sessions, don't we? Let's see. We'll just fix a few spots here and there. Alright. Last thing I need to do, I shouldn't have put that ink on the topmost layer there. Let me see. Here's what I can do. I can copy that. I can erase that, and then I can open a new thing here. Like I never erased it in the first place. And then actually gonna paste again. Flip this. Move it over here. This is how I get things so precise. I go all the way down to the pixels and I line it up to the thing. There we go. So now it matches almost seamlessly. Put that back on. Turn off this layer entirely. We still have that. Perfect. And then we'll just go in and carefully erase all of it. It's a foolproof plan to fix my hilarious blunder that I should have realized would be an issue like 10 hours ago. And then now that we've erased enough of it, we can just take our lasso again. It's about working smarter, not harder. Clear that. Turn that back on. Like we never had a problem in the first place. Oh, and I can actually, probably looks better without the, well, no, let's see. Get like this kind of red, and then, actually no, let's make it blue. Let's make it like the shade of his ninja mask. I'm not sure if I like that actually. Oh boy. Maybe it would be better with like one of these reds. And if I use it as like that intensity, can't see it all too well. Let's see, we do that. Is that centered? Sometimes I wish I was, I wish I wasn't so stubborn and actually use the tools that Medibang provides me, but I don't. Then we just move this down. This is how I've been doing like all that sort of like effect here. I think this should help like differentiate it a little bit. We'll just do that. I want them all to match. I want them all to have like ribbons. There we go. I think that is complete. I hope Johnny likes it. Let's sign it. I've been putting this disclaimer on a lot of the stuff that I do for like other people now because I think I'm just worried that people are like gonna steal more now. Oh, that's the same format of the text that I usually put. Let me check real quick. Because I'm pretty sure I do it like that. I'm so... yeah. And then we sign it with our watermark. Yeah. I don't know if my art has actually been stolen before. Again, the closest thing I had to something like that was someone reposted some art from my Tumblr. Because they couldn't find me on Twitter because I didn't have a Twitter back then. And they were like, guys, look at this art. And I'm like, oh, that's a really sweet thing to do. This person posted my art here because I legitimately did not have a thing and I didn't really take a lot of issue with it because, you know, they credited me and stuff. I haven't been to DeviantArt in a while, too. I wonder if any of my art is getting reposted there. I don't know. There we go. Alright, and then I think I'll export it after stream so you guys don't have to see my silly little file folder. That being said, I guess we'll work on this. Because I need to finish this at some point. There he is, the boy. Our silly little guy. Oops. Do not put text on his face. Yeah, we have about 30 minutes left of stream. And then I will be Eepin or playing Stardew Valley. It'll be one of the two. Lots of rendering today getting done. Let's see. I think a lot of people, when they do like more traditional paintings, they like to make the shadows cooler and the highlights warmer for a more 3D effect. But I don't really like how it desaturates the colors that I put down. So I like to say, screw that noise, and I just do whatever it is I'm doing right now. Yeah. I talked about it earlier when I was going through everyone's art on the art share threads, but I like to have saturated colors because I like when art styles are very like loud and like very like look at me, and I think in order like I think color is such a wonderful thing to have in the world, and I think there's a lot of art styles that like really shy away from using it sometimes. I think it's mostly like the anime art styles, right? Because I guarantee you, if it was anyone else, if they were like coloring in Elliot right now, they would make his skin tone probably something like this. If I go down here, they'd make it something like this, which nope, not exactly like that, but like this, which is just, I don't know, it's very like, I understand it's like a different thing, but I just don't, I don't believe in making characters like that whitewashed. I understand that there are people who are legitimately that pale, but I think there's like so many more contexts that you can use to justify like, oh, well, this character should arguably have like a little bit of a tan because they live on the beach, and the same goes for a lot of different characters. Astarion, well, he's the pale. He's literally, his questline is literally called the Pale Elf, so he gets a pass. But even then, I like to I try to make sure that he still has like a noticeable like color that's like not too like horribly desaturated or close to white, because you know, I just don't think that's fun. Again, I think it's just like a huge thing that like a lot of anime art styles do. I don't know why all of them have to be like so like fair skinned. I think it's like, it just feels wrong to me in a sense. I like having color. I like when people can really see the color. I like when artists don't shy away from using it. And they go like, oh, I'm gonna choose this one because it looks very delicate, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna choose this one because you can actually see it against the white canvas. That's my whole thing. Everything about my art style is just, I want it to be loud. I want it to be noticeable. I want people to see it. Maybe that says something about me, but, you know. Well, you know, I just like unique art styles, and I think I make certain choices because of a lot of things, because of a lot of opinions I have, as with any artist. Let's see what's going on. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Oh, I see you, Kira, liking all my posts. You're so wonderful. I love you for that. I wish I had more emote slots so I can put like my own Kerr heart emote in there. The world would benefit more from having more heart emotes in Twitch chats. Of course, the only way for me to do that though is like Hype Train unlocks, and I'm like, I don't want to ask people to sub or gift anything. It's just a... It's okay. We get there when we get there. If it takes 10 years or 5 months, it'll be one of the two. Somewhere in between or never at all, and that's okay. Streaming is always going to be like a sort of side thing for me. I have fun with this, but my big thing is always going to be like, I like drawing and I like showing people my art. This is just me like, okay guys, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna yap, we're gonna have our little girls' night, and we're gonna draw. Maybe one day it would be a fun thing. There's a thing, I think it's draw.io. I put all of you guys in Twitch chat and be like, alright guys, here's your prompt. I think that would be fun, actually. That would be a lot of fun. It doesn't matter if you got a drawing tablet or not, just do something silly. Do something silly for stream. And I think I trust you guys enough not to just draw, like, profanities and vulgar things, right? I don't have to worry about any of you guys writing out slurs on draw.io, right? We have a very, very mature and sophisticated audience in the community, and we would not do anything to tarnish our reputation, would we? I don't think so. I trust you guys. I think the only thing that I won't put out, the only thing I won't trust people with is like my actual like address and location, just because like, well, then people can actually find me. And like, you know, Meow is in agreement. Yes, that's exactly what I want to see. I did almost like just straight up say my city name earlier. That was really funny. Got very comfy with chat for a moment. Let's see. Do I think... Oh, you know what? Here's an interesting question now. Do I think his earring is like one of those metal? Like I have an earring kind of like this one, but it's like it's very much like a stained metal, and it still has like that metallic sheen to it. Or would this one be more like a jade? I mean, I guess either way, I'm going to be using the watercolor brush to render it. Part of me wants to add a little bit of texture to it now, but I'm not sure. We'll just have to see. Oops. Where's my eraser? There we go. I love how scared he looks. This is always just going to be one of the funniest dynamics, I think, for any character writing. Person A and the Chaos Gremlin they're initially terrified of. That has to be one of the best shipping pairs in existence, in my opinion. Just because I think it's very silly. I think it's pretty clear that I enjoy very silly things. It'd be strange if I didn't at this point. Like, I had a whole post on Monday, like the cool thing about never growing out of your edgy phase, yada yada yada. I think a lot of people mistake, like, their edgy phase for, like, depression and stuff. Reality, that's just depression. Depression has absolutely nothing to do with being an edgy person, I think. Like, if you really boil it down, being edgy is just being, like, what would I even define it as? You're just alt, I think. It's just like being alt. Like, just because you're this doesn't mean you're this. And the way I interpret it is, like, just because you're alt or anything, you dress a certain way, you wear all black, that does not mean you're depressed. It just means something else. And then, guys are liking the girlfriend the tweet. That's one of my favorite things to do. I like to replace words with sort of vaguely similar sounding words. Not rhymes, just like vaguely similar sounding. I think I mentioned this last stream while we were playing me and Johnny were playing Stardew. And I think you guys got a taste of it. What was it that I posted when I got married to Elliot in our private file? It was like our private co-op file. It was like we got marinated. Like, instead of, oh, we got married, like, we got marinated. That's always gonna be like one of the best things to me, I think. I don't know, I'm just weird like that. I'm such a... And sometimes I wonder what it's like to know me, but from, like, an outside perspective. I wonder, like, how many people, like, look at me and think, this person's fucking insane. This person's weird. Like, it's not that I take issue with people thinking of me like that, and it's not that I think lowly of myself, it's just, like, knowing me has to be one of the most interesting experiences you could ever, like, have. Maybe not interesting in like a, oh, like that, like, how peculiar or whatever. It's more like, it's for, like, I feel like knowing me just has to be like a, well, I know this, it's like, I know this really, really weird person who keeps talking about rocks. She replaces the word original with oregano. So you'd actually hope for a girlfriend and not just someone to grill with. I mean, both would be pretty cool, you know? Get a girlfriend who enjoys grilling. That would be pretty sick, in my opinion. I would love that. No, I'm not actually, like, seriously looking for a relationship right now. I just think replacing girlfriend with girlfriend sounds really funny. I would like a grill buddy, though. That would be fun. I think that would be a lot of fun, actually. Now that I think more on it. Just like, hey. Like, hey, I found I caught these fish. You wanna like gut them and then like put them on the barbecue real quick? That would be hilarious. That would be my dream come true. There was a post I sent Johnny a few nights ago. This is completely relevant to Stardew Valley. Romancing Elliot with Fish Run. There was a tweet that I saw. I don't think this was like the absolute original poster of this series of DMs, but it's so funny. For context, one of Elliot's loved gifts in Stardew is lobster. And there was just this text message. It was like, I miss you. I will return soon, my lobster. I mean, love. Lobster! It's so funny. Such a silly little thing. I'm getting more followers on Twitter again. Yippee! Oh my god, we're at 394. I wanted to wait till like 400 on Twitter to do like another thing, and I'm like, it's close enough. Blue Sky's already there. You know what I should do? I should pit my Blue Sky followers against my Twitter followers and be like, guys, they're beating you. You're really gonna let them like do you like this? And then I go over to Blue Sky. Guys, don't let Twitter win. You guys are doing great. You gotta hold the lead. And I just like pit both follower counts against each other like that. I think that'd be hilarious. And then for the people who follow on both, you guys can just be there to watch the world burn with me. Because that's exactly what I'll be doing. Oh boy! And then, yeah, I'm enjoying this. I feel like I've been drawing like a lot in my chibi style lately that I'm kind of forgetting how to like draw in my regular style, like low-key. Like the head here, when I initially like had it, felt a little big. And it still kind of does. And even on the comic page, it looks a little big, but I think that specifically was me trying to, was me trying to, like, focus more on the expressions, because a lot of, like, comic panels should focus, like, on the face, because that's where the emotion, the dialogue is happening. Yeah, I really have to bully this Kira Neko for a real person until... Kira Kapalu and Kira Neko for real. But it's the Spider-Man pointing meme. Oh man. Oh, you're so silly. Never change. Never change. That was a beautiful joke right there. Oh my god. You guys are great. You guys are genuinely, like, the best, like, audience I could have asked for. Like, if I never grow as a streamer, I'm completely fine with that. As long as I get to keep, the hilarious audience that I already have. You guys make me laugh. Let's see. Am I gonna put, like, more shape here? Oh yeah, I think it would be funny to pit like Blue Sky and Twitter against each other like that. Just watch the infighting, or like the fake infighting, I would hope. Oh boy. There's still just like some performance things that are just kind of like just small performance hiccups. I don't know if it's a Medibank thing or I doubt it's a computer thing because my computer it's not like the most powerful computer in the world, but does have a better graphics card than my laptop. And I get this problem more on my laptop than I do my desktop, but it is still there and I can see it. I'm just like, why is this happening? Do I need to switch art software? Because I don't want to switch art software. I've been using Medibang, I think, since 2019, 2018? And I've tried a few different, like, software at this point. When I first started drawing on the computer, my tablet came with Art Rage, and I liked Art Rage, but I think something about it just never, like, felt right. That, or I might have just been stupid and I never learned how to, like, actually use it. Then I tried Krita, which was another free software, but that one didn't actually come with a tablet. That one was just, like, free off the internet. And it was alright. I just didn't like... This one might have just been the laptop I was using before, but after, like, extended periods of use, it would just, like, lag severely. And I was, like, frustrated. And that's... After Krita, I found Medibang, and Medibang didn't have any of those performance issues. And I was just like, this is perfect. I am literally going to use this forever. And you know what? I might actually end up using it forever because I can't find, like, other software that I actually like. Because I think a big part of it for me is just boiling down to, like, the brushes. Like, I just need 4 different types of brushes in my life. A pencil to sketch with, the pen, and the acrylic paintbrush here, and the watercolor paintbrush. I could live without everything else. I could probably figure it out from, like, other things, because I'm sure every other art software has, like, a paint splatter and everything. But are they gonna have this texture here that I love so near and dear to my heart? No. Because, let's see, what other software did I try after Medibang? I think the only one really has been, like, Procreate and Paint Tool Sci. And I like Procreate a lot. It's just, I think when I render on there versus on here, it looks way too smooth, even though I'm using, like, brushes with similar textures. And that's because Procreate tries to lend itself more to, like, more realistic painting, and I don't mean it in like a oh, like, you have to paint realistically if you use Procreate. I mean it in like the way it blends and, like, the brush physics on there lean way closer to real life than Medibang does. So that's part of the reason why the brush on there smooths out way more than it does here. I'm getting that jitter again. Let me increase the brush size and see if that helps a little bit. So that's, like, one huge thing. And, like, I still like it, and I still like the way my rendering looks there. It's just, I like it better on here because it looks, more rough and, like, I get more of, like, those bristle strokes now, here in Medibang than I do Procreate. And that's really, like, the only thing holding Procreate, I think, way back for me. Paint Tool Sci, I did not like the brushes. And the thing is that you have to pay for Paint Tool Sci. Like, you get a free trial for, like, a week or something, right? And not that I think every free trial should be like this, because I get that there are ways to, like, abuse it. But if it's the free trial and you're gonna... It's like an $80 software, I think you should absolutely try to, like, put your best foot forward in the tools you provide. And the tools that the free trial, at the very least, provided, I wasn't impressed with. In fact, I was, like, really disappointed by the paintbrushes they had. Because, you know, every software is gonna have, like, that really nice, like, studio pen. Every software is gonna have, like, a nice pencil to sketch with. But not every software is going to have the paintbrush that I want to do my rendering with. And that was just the case for Paint Tool Sci, which is a shame because another artist that I really, like, look up to and admire the artwork for, her artwork, is, she uses Paint Tool Sci, and she very much recommended it to me, and I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I think I will have to try it out, because if this is where you do all your professional work, then I see no reason why I shouldn't at least try it out. And I was just really disappointed. I don't know if I had to like download more like brush packs or anything, but it's like I'm spending $80 and like half the brushes here I don't even like, and I can't see the UI. It was like really small. And I don't know if there was a way to make it bigger, but it was really, really small and hard to read. So, Paint Tool Sai just unfortunately was not for me. Clip Studio Paint, I think, has a subscription now, which is even worse than... which is, like, one of the worst things ever. So, I think I'm just gonna, like, stick to Medibang just pretty much for eternity. Because, again, it's free, I have everything that I could possibly need, and if they ever, like, do, like... If they ever shill AI art or anything, at least I never paid them a dime, so... You know, that's kind of where I stand. And I'm happy with the art that I do on this. I will gladly do all of my professional work here. I think just because, like, I'm good at it. I've used it for so long. I see no other reason to change. It has, again, literally everything I need. And I think actually, too, if I get it off of Steam, I might be able to have, like, an animation software part of it. But maybe it's just better to get actual animation software. I don't know. Yeah, let's see, 4 more minutes of stream. Let's see. The way I like to render is I like to see like how many spots I can hit without having to worry about spilling over into another spot that's been rendered. Because I do end up merging all of the layers together. At the end. A lot of people don't do that. I just do it to stay like organized and keep file sizes like small, because you know it's not like I have like unlimited space on all of my devices. And you know, if I mess up on the rendering, it's like I'll take that L. Like, oh well. I won't beat myself up over it too much unless it's like a glaring thing, but you know, I usually notice the glaring mistakes, and I usually do fix them. And they're honestly not that hard to fix. I've gotten, like, over, like, my whole, like, oh, I need to make sure all the colors are, like, uniform and everything. I've gotten over that, like, pretty well, I think. Like, I know for the comic I'm going to be keeping it more consistent just because comic consistency is super important. But, I think for... just like regular stuff like this, I'm not. I don't beat myself up over it too much. Holy shit, we're getting bots again. Hello, go away. Click this, and then timeout, ban. There we go. Bye bye. Hang on. How do I exit out of this guy's profile now? Hello?
Can I eat my dinner in here?
Yeah, you want me to, like, hide the camera real quick, or?
Yes, please.
Okay. 1 second, guys. Okay, go ahead.
Hooray!
Meanwhile, I gotta figure out how to... Guys, this profile won't leave my stream chat. And I can't see chat right now. Oh, shit. No, don't open that profile. Probably just put like 5 viruses on my computer doing that. Teehee. Hang on. How do I... Guys, I've banned him, but I can't see chat right now. There it is.
You have to ban someone?
It was a bot.
Oh.
Can you guys hear
Watch some
Johnny? Jerky? I brushed my teeth already. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Facecam is back. Oh, it's 1 o'clock already. Oops. Well, I think that is just about as far as I can go for the rendering anyways. For tonight. because I do have work tomorrow and Johnny is home. So let's see, announcements. The Draw This in Your Style, I think I'm gonna have that go live on Monday. And it will be up for 2 weeks. If you happen to want to draw art for that, I will take any art. You can literally make stick figures of Airy and Lilac, and I will cherish it forever. Yeah, we'll have it going for 2 weeks. I think, as much as I want to do 2 winners from Twitter, 2 winners from Blue Sky, I think my hand would fall off. And there's a lot of personal stuff that I want to work on, and by personal stuff, I mean I want to create merch to sell at a con, because that is one of my New Year's resolutions. So I think it is just going to be like 1 winner from Twitter, 1 winner from Blue Sky. Unfortunately, I would like to have 4 winners for the whole 400 follower theme, but again, I have goals that I should probably work on getting to this year. So yeah, next week I will announce the Draw This in Your Style. Next stream will be Tuesday, 11:30 to 2:30 p.m. on Tuesday. And, you know, Monday I will be sure to put the weekly schedule up. And I think that is going to wrap things up for stream. It was nice. It was wonderful, as always, hanging out with you guys. And tomorrow I will be making sure I quote all of the art things with all the compliments that I gave at the beginning. And yeah, looking forward to hanging out with you guys next week, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Bye! Love you all.